All right, guys, we're gonna get the front clip off. It's pretty easy, actually. We're gonna take these bolts off here. There's 3 holding it on there. There's 3 on that side. There's a bolt and a piece of tire strap holding it there and there. And then there's a couple bolts up front. Not too bad. Let's do it. Got some bolts here. Oh. There's a ground cable. Check that out. Old crusty old ground cable up in there. I don't know if that ground was still working. Probably need to clean that up pretty good. But yeah, that side is done already. There's a little bolt right here. This side's a little crustier, but let's see what happens. There it is. Not bad, just 4 bolts. They all came out, even as rusty as they were, they all came off pretty easy. This thing's in really good shape. I'm surprised considering the rust on some of the other parts. All right, bumper is off. There's 2 mounts in the front here connecting the radiator support area. There's 2 of these up here. One here, one here. I'm gonna hit this with the sledgehammer. See if we can break that loose. Break it loose. Doesn't want. That one is. It is just gone. This side looks better. Let's try to get this side off, and then we'll go back to that one. We might have to cut that one off. Did that work? Yeah, but it's spinning. Let's see. Got it. Yeah. Ooh, that's hot. That one's not coming out. All right, let's see if we can cut that one. Ooh, that's hot. Unfortunately, we had to cut that one. It's hot. Now we can get to, you can see how bad these bushings are. They're still pliable, which is pretty crazy considering how old they are. All right, we're getting there. We got the 4 bumper bolts off, no problem. The 2 radiator support bolts, one was good and one was bad. And now I think we're gonna do these 3 here. Or should we do these and leave this on here? Let's see what happens here. I guess there's some adjustment you can make in here too, slight adjustments. All right, let's get this off of here. All right, so there's 2 pieces of basically tire material holding this inner fender to the wall here. Woo! That's rusty. All right. It's like everything else on this truck, rusty, really rusty. All right, guys, we're getting there. There's just a couple more bolts. This one, like the other ones, are super rusty, and it should be a 9/16, but it's rusted out pretty bad. So I was able to get a 14 millimeter on there, and it feels like it's gonna come off, but let's see. This one's gonna need to be cut. It's just spinning up in there, and I can't seem to get a hold of anything up in there. So you can see the bolt, and it's got this little clip on it, but it's just spinning. Let's see if we can cut it. All right, there's a couple things going on over here. This thing, it's a step, homemade step they put here, so the passenger could get in and out. Maybe the passenger was a little shorter, but it's got these bolts, 7/16 bolts in here, trying to keep it from spinning. There we go. There we go. Custom. Oh, it's even made out of diamond plate. I bet that was nice back in the day. Oh, that's hot. That's hot. That's hot. All right, guys. Got the step off. And need to cut this bolt that's holding the fender on. We got it. We just had to keep filing it down, kind of like that, back and forth, and finally broke through the bolt. So that is free. This is all rusted, so we'll have to clean this up really good, maybe put another bracket, reinforcement bracket in here, but we're definitely gonna have to do some metal work right here. But that bolt is free. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. All right, guys, we're getting there. We got that bumper off, that bracket, and I think we've got all the connections loose. I went ahead and cut that side off to the fender bolt like we did on this side. So the fenders are loose. I think that's everything. I'm gonna try to knock these two bolts up because they're still in there. Maybe we can, it's kind of stuck up in there, maybe we can drill it out on this side. There it goes. Pretty rusty. There's a washer, and a bigger washer. It was kind of like that right there. I'm gonna try to chisel on this one. I think that might work. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That one's pretty bad. Pretty bad. We're gonna need some new ones. All right, guys. We're getting there. A few more things. Gotta get these light buckets off because there's a wiring harness connected to them. That's connected to the inner fender. This has been off before because this is not. I don't think that's factory. And that's probably not factory. They're supposed to be like this. Stainless steel, I'm pretty sure. It's crazy how rusty some of those things are. Oof. Ooh, there's a bug in there, or wasp. This light has water in it. So, I think we're just gonna pull it out of here. There we go. I don't know where that spring went. Make sure we save that chrome We'll save the whole thing until we get a replacement for it, but there's a bulb inside there. Alright. Okay, before we get too far, let's just see what we've got here. There is the main harness coming into the light switch here, and I just pulled this connector off. That connector went down here, it goes down to the blinker. This connector goes down there too. We're gonna pull this off. And then we're gonna undo that ground screw. There we go. Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay. That frees the main harness. Cool. We can't get the front clip off until we get this wiring harness disconnected, because it's connected to the inner fender, and that whole inner fender is going to be coming out. The wire clip there. There's a wire clip here. Right here. All right, let's take this one off real slow, real nice. Real nice. So we can see all the details. This one looks like it has all its original screws, which is nice. Okay. She's got a few little dents and dings, but that's all right. This is like a lightweight aluminum of some sort. Okay. All right. I just want to get a close look at this setup here. This one looks in good condition. That plastic piece is still intact. I'm sure they make that. We may have to order some new ones because the other side was broken. Looked like they got into that other side at some point. It had a couple mix matched screws on the driver's side. I don't know why they got in there, but this side looks all factory. Doesn't look like they messed with this one at all. So we're getting some good shots here. Stuff is brittle, guys. Yeah. We're gonna put new bulbs in all this stuff, clean everything, replace gnarly screws with good screws, save what we can, and we place what we need to. All right, we got the wiring harness free on this side. We're gonna need some of these new connectors. These connect to the lamp, so we'll get new lamps and new connectors, because these are all dry rotted and they're just breaking apart. We may even get a whole new harness. I'm not sure yet. We'll find out about that. But yeah, just trying to strip back the layers and figure out what we need to replace. I think it's free now, but I'm having, it's moving. I need to figure out something that I can lift it up with. I might need to put the electric hoist up here and just kind of lift it up a little bit. And I think I might go ahead and remove these as well. I don't know. I'm not sure if I should do that or not. It feels like it's close. Let me see if I can lift up on it. Yeah, it's moving. It's just need a good place to. All right, guys. I think we're gonna have to pull these off as well. It seems like it doesn't want to budge, so I'm just marking these the best I can. And hopefully that'll help when we go to put it back on. All right, let's get these off. Yeah, it's just heavy. It's just heavy. Looks like something else. Maybe. I think that bolt right there. Got this pry bar and just prying on a little bit, not too much, between the cab and the fender. And that's kind of putting a little tension on that bolt in there. See it? Sprayed some lube on it. And then I got the socket in here. Finally. Good Lord. That sucker was in there. Here it is. Just took forever because you can barely get your socket to move in here. And it's pretty long. So, yeah, there's another bolt there, guys. All right, this side is free now, I think. Yeah. Probably didn't have to take those off, but that's all right. We can get in there and blow all that out, clean up the bolts. We marked where it needs to go, so we should be pretty close. We're gonna have to do the same thing on this side. Let me get that bolt off, stand by. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to lift it, but I think, I think that's it. Let's try it again. See what happens. I might need to get some help for, I don't know. That doesn't feel too bad. I think we're loose. Is that it? Yeah. Probably be a good idea to have some help. Yeah, I'm gonna need a hand with that. I don't want to mess up the grill. 2 people would be great for this. And then you kind of need a dolly or something to put it on. All right, the front clip is officially loose as far as I can tell. I don't see any other connections. But I need to lift this up and get it out here on the ground. I think I might take off the fenders first. All right, let's just, I think we know what's gonna happen here. Let's just go ahead and get this fender off. They're rusty. Very rusty. Coming out, that's good. All right, there's a couple more hiding out in here. There's one there. one up there, and then it should come down. And they are rusty, boy. That not real nice. Another one up here, it looks like. Yeah. Oh, you gotta get that out of there. Shoot. All right, so I got the fender. Just gotta get those two flatheads off the side marker. And they're super rusty. Not those. That's just the cover. These are Phillips, of course. And the back side is like super rusted out something. I don't know what these are. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Don't say maybe. It's gonna spin. I like these little weird little things. They use them in light fixtures. I've seen them holding up ballast. And they're super rusty. Hey, there we go. All right. Some sort of a wing nut. I forget what they call these little things. I think they're 5/16 on the back side. Okay, cool. Probably didn't have to take this off, but this thing is just so rusted. It's there's probably some sort of fitting here. It's just really bad. I can't even get it off. Stand by. Okay, there we go. Wrecking Ball Garage. Success. Yeah, that feels good. It's unfortunately, you know, the state of this truck is just rusty and old and worn out, so it is what it is. We're gonna have to get the other fender off, the inner fenders, the front grill, the radiator support. We're probably gonna order a new radiator support and clean up the grill really good. We're gonna keep the patina. We're just gonna buff out the paint really good. We'll fix a couple rust holes here and there. Real sweet rebuilt FE360 with Edelbrock manifold and carburetor and all kinds of really cool stuff going on. TCI transmission. Yeah, guys, it's all going in here. So stay tuned. I know we didn't get completely off, but maybe I'll come back tomorrow, finish it up, and then you'll see this thing off of here. We'll see. All right, guys, it's the next day. Let's keep getting this stuff peeled back. All right, guys, this front clip is actually not terrible. I mean, there is some rust. It's pretty bad. But overall, when everything's bolted together, it's pretty solid. So you could run with it like this, not a problem. I just want to get this off so we can get clear access to the engine, the transmission, and all the components that we need to fix and replace. The springs, the shocks, the bushings. And while we're in there, it doesn't take that much more time to pull this stuff apart, replace the radiator support. You could run with this one if you needed to. It's still pretty solid, but if you look closely, there's some pretty good rust eating through here. So it does have some issues, but again, if you're on a budget, you could run with this if you needed to. But I think we're gonna get a new radiator support, clean all the wiring terminals, maybe get a whole new wiring harness. I'm not sure. It just depends on, you know, how much all this stuff adds up to and what we have in the budget. So we're gonna try to make it as nice as possible without doing any major auto body and paint work. I want to get all the mechanical stuff working really, really well. That, to me, that's the most important part, is the mechanical, so you can actually use it, get out there and use it. And that's what we're gonna do. The patina, we're gonna keep. The patina's sweet. And if we were gonna do a complete restoration, probably wanna start with a better candidate. But for a truck that we can just use and have fun with, this is perfect. All right, let's get all these bolts lubed up as much as we can. They're pretty rusty. Hopefully that'll help as they're coming out. They're all 1/2-inch bolts. You can see the ones we've taken out so far. They're not terrible. We could probably clean up some of them. But they are pretty rusty, so I'm gonna try to get up in here and just give a little bit of help here on some of these. It might make it a little easier. So we got quite a few bolts that we need to get out. They're all over the place. There's about 12 bolts on each side that we need to hit. So this is another reason why I kind of want to do this. There's a few bolts that are actually just missing because they're so rusty they've just fallen out. I think this is called the chip guard, from rocks flying up and hitting the radiator, I think. But there's bolts, one there and one here, they're just gone. There's another one here that's just barely holding on. You can see how nasty and rusty they are. I mean, that one's gonna fall out at some point, and then this whole thing could just fall off and going down the highway. That'd be not good. So get these all lubed up. And look at that. They're just pretty bad. All right, let's get these things out of here. Got them all lubed up. They should just, hopefully they'll all come out. Some of them are probably gonna break. Oh, that one's a little crispy. Let's see what we got out of here. inner fender right there. Let's try it. Check it out. There it is. Not that bad. See how that just opens up? Again, you don't have to do this, but we're going to be putting a rebuilt engine in here, rebuilt transmission. We're going to be doing the springs, the shocks, the brakes, and we're going to replace these most likely. They're still a little pliable, but again, this is all, man, how many washers are in there? 1, 2, 3. That's kind of, I don't know if that's accurate or not, or if this thing is just coming apart in pieces. Let's see. But yeah, we're probably gonna get new bushings on both sides. I guess there's layers. Yeah, there's multiple layers here. Not sure how that works, but it looks like there's 3 or 4 layers or something. You can see how rusty it is down here. Pretty bad. You could use it if you needed to, and we still might. We're gonna take it all off and we'll take a good look at it. Maybe we can just put a couple patches on it. And we could probably patch this, put some paint on it. This area is pretty bad down here though. All right, let's keep going. Whoa. All right, let's keep going, get the rest of this off. Let's get that fender off, that inner fender, and just keep peeling it away. Yeah, you can kind of see here, these are these are spinning right here. So we got to put a 1/2-inch wrench on the back side. These little corners right here are pretty crispy. All right, I think we got the rock guard. I need to put some weight on this side. That sucker wants to fall over. Yeah, there's the rock guard. Put something over here. Of course, I can't get to anything. Oh, here we go. Sandbag right there to hold that. Let's get all these out of here. they're all coming out pretty good. Look at that one's a little longer. That one that came out of the rear here. Interesting. These all look the same. That one on the rear was a little bit longer for some reason. All right. Not bad. Not bad. You see, that's where that inner bolt on the side goes. That one was kind of hard to get out. And some of these have these clips here. So we're probably gonna have to order some of these too, because some of these are really rusty. These clips that hold the bolts. Some of them have nuts, some of them have these clips. And yeah. All right, it's actually not that bad, guys. I mean, you know, depending on your perception of reality, I guess. All right, we're getting there. 2 fenders, inner fender, rock guard. We're gonna get this inner fender out of here. Just a couple bolts holding it, one there, and there's a few under here. Yeah, you can see how bad it is right there. That's the really bad part of this radiator support that we're probably not gonna be able to save. I think a new one is $200. It might be worth getting one to have a nice, strong support for the whole front end. Might be a good idea. New bolts, new radiator support. Maybe new inner fenders. I'm not sure. We're going to take a closer look at these. Definitely want to replace the parts that are important. Get everything cleaned up. Get all the mechanicals done. And get this baby on the road. Do some work with it. Be cool. All right. Let's get that inner fender off. And get this grill off. And take a closer look at that inner support. All right, guys. A couple more bolts. That looks like a long one. Yeah, these ones holding into the radiator support are longer. Something else is holding it. All right. Yeah. It's not that bad actually, guys. This thing's coming apart like a little puzzle. Look at all the access now. You know how frustrating it is trying to get in between all that stuff? Now we can just drop the engine right here Everything is super accessible. We can clean all this stuff really good with the pressure washer, change out the springs and the bushings, get this stuff updated. This is just completely dry rotted. Get these updated. New support. Unfortunately, you know, it'd be nice if it was, you know, you could use it if you needed to, but I'm gonna get a new one. Let's get this grill off. One more. Right here. One more, is that it? There it is. Pretty light. Pretty light. It's got a couple dings and a little indent here, but overall it's pretty good. Clean it up. Maybe we can hit this from the backside with a piece of rubber or wood and just kind of straighten that out maybe. But it looks pretty good overall, I think. All right, so we're gonna take a close look at these and see if we can save them, see what parts we can save off of them. Maybe we can just sand them down really good and paint them. They might be salvageable. This, I think I'm pretty much determined that we're gonna get a new one, and mainly because of this here. This side is pretty crispy. Yeah, so. And this should just pop off here now. But that's it. We're gonna take that off. You can see where they sprayed the truck at some point. A little overspray there. Let's get that off. All right. All right. Let's see. Whoa. There it is. Ooh. I bet the shipping on this one, but it's not cheap to ship this one. It's a big piece. It's a big piece. I don't know if you have to, if it comes with the brackets. Hopefully it comes with all the brackets and everything. We'll look into it. I mean, maybe we can find one local, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, we could use it. It's just a little rough. It's a little rough. Ah, shoot. Let's put it over here for a second. Whoa. Thought that was a snake. Here I go again on my own, going down the only road I've ever known. Wrecking ball. Well, guys, the front clip is off. 2 inner fenders, the outer fenders, the chip rock guard thingamajig, and the grill. Couple headlights, the bumper, the radiator support. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 8 to 10 pieces. Okay, got the other pieces over there. Another 4 pieces. About 14 pieces. A bunch of bolts and nuts. Some of these could probably be saved. We'll hit them on the wire wheel and see what they look like. But yeah, there it is. I've been down this road before with the Swamp Dragon. I know some of you guys know who that is. And You know, that was really my first attempt at taking something apart and trying to build it back. And well, we made some progress on it, but that project got delayed. So we're gonna get back on that at some point. This is kind of like the Swamp Dragon 2.0. So we're gonna run with this one for now. But yeah, look at these. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. I think these might just be, they were one and now they've broken apart. I'm not really sure. These have to come out, and the metal around them look okay. I know in the Swamp Dragon they were pretty pitted around here. This one's a little more pitted than this one. But yeah, look at the axis now. It's so easy to just get up on in here and see what's going on. And we can get all this stuff cleaned up, go through it all, get the nuts and bolts cleaned up, get some new ones. And we've got just real good access here now. I don't have to lean over the fenders. Let me see what's going on. Oh, there's some liquid in there. Steering fluid. So what I want to do is get this master cylinder off of here in the booster box. I mean, it's possible that booster is still good, but I think I got a brand new setup that I got for the Swamp Dragon. So brand new booster, brand new master cylinder. I'm hoping it'll work for this setup. I'm not sure. And we got to go through and check the brakes and all that stuff. But yeah, it's going to need a little work. There's the cab mounts for, there's the bushings for the rubber. Oh, look at that. It still says, it says front right there on it. I'm assuming these are original. There's a little piece of material right here. I don't know if they did that from the factory for some reason. A little piece of material right there. Not sure what that is. But you can see it says front. And you know, I don't know how to gauge if these are still good, but you can still, they're still pliable. And I know that supposedly the rubber they were using back in the day was far superior than the rubber that's made today for some reason. Oh, that was actually a little critter in there. Look at that. Huh. I don't know what those are. Some kind of mud dauber or something. Those things are everywhere. It looks like there's a little rust right here, so we might need to clean that up. There's an axis hole right here, so you can get to the top of that bolt. And we're going to pull out the heater core. This just gives us a lot of access here now to get to this stuff, which is pretty cool. You know, guys, if we want to do this right, we really need to get the cab off. And it's really not that difficult. There's only 4 big bolts holding it on there, and a couple little bolts holding the steering column to the steering box. A couple of wires, and this thing is just gonna lift right up. So let's go ahead and do it. There's an access point here for the cab mounts. So there's 4 cab mounts, 2 in the front here and 2 in the back. And that's what holds the cab to the frame. There's a crusty old screw here. What is this? This is a 3/8. Ooh. And what's inside here is the top of the cab bolt. This is the access area. And when you're looking for these old trucks to buy one, try to find them with as little rust as possible, especially on the cab mounts. You can see the junk that's in there. Yeah, it's a place for moisture and critters and mud and junk to get up in there. Look at that. Whatever that wire is, I have no idea. It's some sort of safety cable or e-brake cable. It's pretty much just gone. So we're gonna get in here and see if we can find the top of that bolt. It's just caked with sand and stuff. Let's see. Pretty crazy. But it looks okay. Let's see, what size is that? It's 5/8 maybe? Yeah. The top is 5/8 and the bottom is 11/16. Pretty sure. Yep. So I'm gonna hold the top with this 5/8 and we'll get a socket on the bottom. See if we can drill that thing off of there. Might need to get the bigger drill, but let's see if this little one will do it. Some lube on there first. Come on out of there, baby. Come on out, come on out. There we go. It's that easy. Well, let's see if that comes out of there. Yeah. A little crusty, a little rusty. There's a washer, big thick washer. There's a lock washer, the bolt, big thick washer, and I think that's it for there. There's some more of that material. I don't know why they put that there, but I'm assuming that's factory. Whatever that is. Okay, that's it. This bolt, this big washer's on the bottom, and this nut. And now this side is free. All right, let's do the passenger side real quick. This is kind of in the way right here. Let's go ahead and pull those two off. This is that piece of tire material that they use to hold the inner fender to the cab. And I guess they wanted something a little flexible, so as it's bouncing around, it's got a little flex there. It's 1/2 inch. And those looks pretty specific to this part. They got little slits in them. A couple washers on there. I'm assuming they make this new, so I'm gonna look on LMC and see if they have that available. Okay, now this should come out. These plates are still in pretty good condition. There's a little rust, but we can clean those up. And this side's just as dirty. (11/16) on the bottom. And 5/8 on the top. That's it. That's it, guys. They come right out of there. That one's got a big dent on it for some reason. All right, the two front mounts are done. Let's get the rear mounts. Gonna crawl under here real quick and see what we got. It's a little scary under here, guys. Be careful. Yeah, we're gonna need a little bit of metal work, not much. After doing the Beetle, that's really doesn't look too bad at all. So, oh yeah. Ooh, look at those spider eggs. So that looks like the bottom of the rear cab mount there. And there's one over there. I don't see any nuts on them. That's interesting. Maybe they just thread through the inside of that thing. Let's lube them up a little bit. And then we'll go inside. All right, let's go inside and see if maybe they'll just come right out. There's one there, and there's one over there. These are 5/8. Yeah. All right. Oh, it brought one of those eggs with it. I think they're old. The bolt doesn't look too bad. It's a little dry, but overall it looks pretty clean. Except right there at the bottom, it's a little crispy. There's a little bracket right here. We'll clean that up a little bit. This thing had some water sitting in it for a while, unfortunately. But it's not as bad as some others I've seen. Let's get this one. All right. That's it for the inside. We got the two. So the two rears are real easy. Pretty easy. Those 4 bolts hold the cab to the frame. These two in the rear, and there's some mounts, some cushions underneath, and these are the 2 front ones. Probably replace these for sure, even though that rubber feels pretty good, but I'm assuming we'll need to replace all of those bushings, cab mounts. All right, we're getting there. Just a couple more things, we'll be able to lift this cab off, which will be pretty cool because it's going to give us amazing access to the chassis. And really, guys, you know, if you've gone this far, you might as well take the extra step to, it just kind of gets, the cab is probably the easiest, the front clip second easiest, and the bed is not that hard either. It's just, there's a lot of bolts under the bed and they're all rusted, so you got to crawl under there and get to them. But we're going to take the bed off as well, so we have complete access to the chassis. I'll wheel it out here, push it out here, we'll pressure wash it, get all the grease and dirt and mud and junk off of it, all the loose rust. I don't think we're gonna have it blasted. Probably just wire wheel the heck out of it and put some 4-5 on it or whatever, and go from there. All right, just a couple more things and we can lift this cab off. These 2 brake lines are gonna come off. A couple of these wires are gonna come off, and this steering coupler, and then we should be able to lift it up. Let's do it. All right, let's get these wires loose. There's a couple connectors here that are pretty obvious. There's an orange to an orange. Get that off. There's these 2 here that are very obvious. Purple to purple, two wires. And they're a little hard to get off. There we go. Those 2, there's a big square one here that is very obvious. Shouldn't have an issue getting these back together. That's hard on the fingers. Okay, let's get this ground wire right here off. It's white with a, looks like it's just white. Not quite sure what's going on there. And I'm gonna put that screw back in for now. What else? There's a little clip here. I'm just gonna clip this clip tie off of here. We'll get some new ones. They're all dry rotted. And there's a little jumper right here. Not sure what it's doing, but it's 2 black wires with red stripes. And it's going to this little jumper right here. I don't know if they deleted something at some point. That may be what they did. And they just made a loop. So we'll leave that for now. I don't know if that's factory or not. Wiring can get a little tricky, for sure. All right, what else is holding us up here? These are disconnected. This one here, this black wire here, it's kind of squishy. Goes to this connector. That's pretty obvious. Okay, and that's it. We're free now. I think the only thing left are the 2 lines going to the master cylinder and these 2 bolts and nuts holding on the steering shaft. And these are 1/2 inch. And they're loose. They're pretty loose. Well, that one's spinning. I can't get to that. That one's spinning too. Yeah, but they're pretty loose. I don't know if they're supposed to be that loose or not, but let's get those off of there. 1/2 inch. Okay. Uh-oh. We're gonna need that. Let's see this side. These are like about to fall off loose. This thing must have been vibrating pretty good. Okay. There's a little clip that goes on there. Yeah, we're gonna need that too. All right, so there's this bolt, this clip, and a nut. And they were just barely hanging on there. But I think that is loose now. Pretty sure that'll pop up. Let's get these brake lines off of here. And there's 3 different sizes. There's a 1/2 inch, a 5/8, and 11/16. So let's see if we can get this off. A little crispy. A little crispy. Probably gonna need some new brake lines. Not sure I trust those. Yeah. At that point, you could probably just cut this. not worry about it because the lines are probably all rusted out and full of junk. Yeah, we're just gonna cut them. I'm pretty sure, you know, these, you can see the rust in there. These lines are probably contaminated on the inside pretty bad. So I know the lines, the hoses that I took off were completely seized. And these probably are too. So no big deal. We're gonna run fresh, new lines. I'm not sure what's going on here. I think at some point they changed the steering box. Pretty sure they changed that steering box out at some point. I thought I saw a remanufactured on it somewhere. I'm not sure if I saw that or not. I thought I saw that somewhere. Maybe I was hallucinating. I mean, that could be factory. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that a factory steering box for 1968? Or did they have it replaced? I'm not sure. Not sure. I think maybe that's where I saw a sticker. I think they did replace it. And the original one had a bracket on here. I think that was connected to the original steering box. And it was just a bracket to hold these lines. So we're gonna run new lines. We'll leave those there for now, and we'll get real good pics of everything, and we'll try to replicate that as best as possible. All right, guys, I think that's it. I think we are completely, yeah, I think we're ready to pull this thing off of here. All right, one more thing. I think one more thing. The e-brake cable, parking brake, emergency brake cables going back to the rear brake drums, and they run along here. There's a return spring on there that's just barely hanging on. It's so rusty. Adjuster nut, and then that cable goes up to the front pedal, e-brake pedal. Okay, so instead of pulling the e-brake cable loose in the cab, I'm just gonna do it right here, hopefully. And so what do we have? There's a 1/2-inch bolt holding it on here. We're gonna lube this up. We're gonna pull the spring off. And we're gonna need this spring and probably need new cables too. Those things are, yeah, they might be all right. Let's see if this will move. It's pretty crispy. All right, guys, let's see if we can get this thing out of here. Nope. Nope. Just turning. All right, I just looked up those cables online, and it looks like you've got the front cable that's about $20 or so, and then you got the two rear ones. So let's cut the front one. That way we're just cutting one cable. Maybe we can reuse the rear ones, but we'll probably get all new ones. Let's see if we can get this cut. Ooh. All right. Those are cut. This thing was all, it's rusted pretty good, so that'll be the front cable. These things work great. Swiss made. Guys, this is just going too smooth. So far, so good. I'm having a lot of fun with this one. Really, really, really enjoying it so far. And I'm excited
to get this thing back on the road. But first, we got to get it torn down so we clean it, fix it, put it back together. That's the plan.
I think that's going to do it for this one. We got the front clip off, which I'm pretty happy with. And it gives us a lot of access here. I'm going to get all this stuff cleaned up. We've got the cab ready to pull off, but I need some help with that. Take it off nice and slow and get some bracing on there. But it's loose, it's ready to go. We'll get the cab off, we'll get the bed off. We'll get this thing pressure washed and cleaned. The engine is already rebuilt. I got an update on that coming soon. I got a TCI transmission ready to go. Waiting on some exhaust parts and some other stuff. But this thing's gonna come together pretty quick. We're gonna do it. Stay tuned. I'll see you on the next one. Later.